Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks again for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. Quick look here again at Solana, double checking a couple of things here. This is actually a very important update because we can see this 170 level here. The price had difficulty crossing that level, eventually did. Now we're seeing it have difficulty cross below. So 170 should be the new support. Again, based on that previous channel that we saw of support, turned resistance, turned support, right? So again, it's one of those cool things that should work out favorably. I'm not saying that Solana couldn't drop any lower. There's still possibilities of that, but based on what we've seen here so far with limited data, it does look pretty favorable. So quickly to note, before we get started, we like to look at liquidation just to kind of double check a couple of things here, and we can kind of see if we quickly get perspective. There's heavy concentrations of liquidation at 165 and 155. We talked about those recently, how those are the more recent lows, and those are areas that are more likely to get swept. So keep in mind if the price does pull back, that would probably give us our ABC pattern all the way down to 155. If it does pull back to that level, I'd be super happy about it. So that way we can get in at around the 155, 160 range. We missed our entry, our fill at 156 by like 2 or 3 cents. It was crazy, stupid close. Either way, nonetheless, that is where we're at here for that. Before we get started though, do me a favor, folks, make sure you hit the like button down below. Absolutely appreciate that. Congrats to our community members here on holding strong with our BSV trade. That one went deep in the red. But low leverage, low position size, folks, is king. 29% in 8 days. While it's not phenomenal, it's good for a 4x leverage trade. These are 5x leverage trades, ADA, 46%, ICP 50, and then near 52%. So we hit 4 out of 5 targets. The other one's currently at break even. So again, you can still close that if you'd like, but I'm going to roll the dice and see how that works because it's still looking quite favorable. I think the trade was what, RDNT. All right, so taking a look here at the back end here. We already did that actually. Let's look at the daily time frame and work our way down and double check the important stuff here. So when we look at Solana on the daily time frame, we can confirm very bullish, right? And again, this previous support channel, you can kind of see price action held very strong in this range, and we blasted straight through it. Potential likely bottom for us. Again, we've also got a previous support at about 172. We talked about that a few weeks ago being a potential support until we lost it. Now we're back at that range testing that. So 170 to 172 is presumably going to be a new support for us so we can close above that level. However, if we do take a look here and we zoom out and kind of look at the most recent range here, we can see the most amount of volume is right here at about 146. Okay, so we got a heavy amount of volume below the price action, so there's a lot of buying pressure between 130 and 145. That's a good sign. That really implies that if the price does pull back again, that'll be a likely pivot or bouncing point. I still think 155 is probably going to be one of our lowest points if the price does pull back. We'll look at smaller time frames to kind of show you how the ABC pattern could play out. But at this point here, we can see we have a lot of positivity here. RSI is high, money flow index is looking good, and stochastic / MACD are all converging. So there's no reason to want to short into this, folks. Again, I get it. I totally understand. There's some people that are just short crazy. If you do, don't get me wrong, it's not like you can't find benefit. The price will likely pull back just based on what we're seeing here so far. But if it doesn't, you're gonna be happy. But if you take a short trade, I don't know, they're inherently more risky, and I try to take short trades less frequent. The majority of our shorts, I would say, like we might short 25% of the time or less, just to give you perspective on the market. I'd much rather wait for a better entry on a long that never happens than to short to that level, if that makes sense. Anyways, I've been surviving the market for 20 plus years now, so I can tell you it's as a trader, it's important to have a good risk tolerance. Anyways, those are all things I teach in my trading academy. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there. So MACD is diverging here on the 4 hour. We can see stochastic's diverging too. That generally is unfavorable for the price action. We're losing 70 on the RSI as well. All the more reason why the price should pull back here soon. Now again, the only reason why it wouldn't pull back is if, again, that support level there holds, we go sideways and potentially have somewhat of a flag pattern. What I'd love to see here is for the price action to work itself into a descending channel, and then we go ahead and get in at either 167 or 160 range, right in that range. Okay, again, perfect world, of course, but there's no perfection in trading, right? So what we look at here, let's just go ahead and talk about this really quick and call it a day. ABC pattern here, folks. Generally speaking, ABC works its way down. And then we'll have two lower lows and a lower high. So we're essentially in this situation here where if the price does pull back, 167 will be the initial pivot. Potential rejection off this more recent resistance at 172, which we've already highlighted. And then, of course, down here to maybe low 160s, or best case scenario, 155 to sweep this lower level of liquidity here, which again isn't monstrous. It's not a massive amount of liquidation. it just is there. Now you got to recognize too, Bitcoin has a tremendous amount of liquidation above the current price action. We're up close to about 70,000. So there is a strong likelihood Bitcoin will continue to surge to 70,000 in the next week or two. And if so, Solana may not even see that pullback. So just kind of throwing it out there. This is still a stretch, because here's the reason why this may not happen. If you take a look at the Ichimoku cloud, you can see we're well above the cloud, conversion lines over the baseline, lagging spans kind of sort of getting close to the price action. So the probability of Solana dropping from here is still fairly low. Okay, so again, just throwing out the statistical probabilities here are pretty low for it to happen. But if so, we're prepared, right? We know that 167 is that next fib level. 162 is roughly the secondary to that 0.382 fib. So again, those are just things to kind of understand and pay attention to. You don't necessarily base all of your trades off that data. Okay, so again, shorting is inherently more risky, and at this point, there's no real signs that the price action is shifting, minus some momentous indicators in the 4-hour. Those are standard. You got to recognize the price action has been increasing almost without retracement for quite a while. So it would make sense for the price to pull back too. All right, folks, I would say pay attention to Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now is looking still quite strong, but it's a weekend, folks. Low volume. We're going to see some unique volatility. So just be very careful trading weekends. I generally try to avoid it. I will trade some altcoins on the weekends if I find really good opportunities. Like last weekend, we took an ICP trade that while it dipped, we got a good, nice average position, hit our almost 50% on that trade within just only 3 or 4. No, it was about 5 trading days, I think. But it was still worthwhile to get in at that point, right? Again, just the way it works. Either way, thanks again so much for watching. Hope you learned something today. Once more, please hit the like button, comment below. Absolutely appreciate that. And we'll look forward to seeing the next one. Don't miss out on this opportunity from BitUnix as well. $5,500 in benefit rewards. Use my link to register. No KYC or VPN. They've been fantastic to us for the last, 10 months now, I think. It's been awesome. Coming up on an anniversary with BitUnix. Thanks again, folks. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Take care.